Body hair. Humans have the same number of hair follicles as chimpanzees, about 5 million, but our body hair is so fine it's almost invisible. Scientists call it vellus hair. The leading theory is that we lost our fur around 1.2 million years ago when we started persistence hunting, chasing prey until it collapsed from heat exhaustion. Fur would have caused us to overheat. We evolved better sweating mechanisms instead, with up to 5 million sweat glands compared to chimps who have almost none. But evolution kept some reminders. You still get goosebumps when cold or scared. A leftover reflex from when raised fur made our ancestors look bigger to predators or trapped air for warmth. The tiny muscles that cause this, called erector pili, are attached to each hair follicle. They work perfectly if you're a cat, but on a mostly hairless human, they just make you look like a plucked chicken. The palmaris longus. Put your hand palm up on a table, touch your thumb to your pinky, and slightly lift your hand. See that raised tendon in the middle of your wrist? That's your palmaris longus. Except 14% of you won't see anything, because you don't have one. This muscle helped our ancestors grip tree branches while swinging, but it's so useless now that surgeons routinely harvest it for tendon grafts. Having it or not having it makes zero difference to your grip strength. What's fascinating is the variation. Some people have it in one arm but not the other. Male nipples. Male nipples exist because nipples form in the womb before sex hormones kick in. For the first 6 to 7 weeks, all embryos develop identically, following a basic female template. Only later, if the embryo has a Y chromosome, testosterone flooding begins and male characteristics develop. By then, the nipples are already there. Evolution could have programmed male nipples to disappear, but there was no survival disadvantage to keeping them, so it didn't bother. Interestingly, men can actually lactate under certain hormonal conditions, proving the basic equipment is all there, just normally switched off. The vomeronasal organ. In your nasal cavity, there's a tiny pit called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ. In other mammals, this is a functioning chemical detector for pheromones, those invisible signals that communicate things like territory, aggression, or sexual availability. Snakes and cats have highly developed versions. When a cat does that weird face with its mouth open, it's using its vomeronasal organ. In human fetuses, this organ is clearly visible, but in adults, it's either microscopic or completely absent. The genes that would make it functional are mutated and switched off. Some researchers argue humans might still produce and detect pheromones through other means, pointing to studies about menstrual synchronization or babies recognizing their mother's scent. But our conscious pheromone detection system? Evolution deleted that feature millions of years ago when vision became our primary sense.